hate board games. Not for the reason you might imagine, not for the lack of pride nor passion, 'tis for the knowledge they begin to, from somewhere deep down within to, always seem to turn me into something somewhat so akin to a psychopath. And so it is without reprieve, I'll tell you, hand on heart on sleeve, what happened just last Christmas Eve at my girlfriend's parents' house. We're all sitting round the fire in the lounge and things seemed to be going quite well. I hadn't said shit or fuck or bollocks. They sure seem to like me, but it's often hard to tell. A respectable family with brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews, much bigger than mine, but I put in the effort with talking to Grandma. I was being ever so careful to lay off the wine. The trains weren't running till the day after boxing, so we're in for a rather long haul. 3 whole days I must keep it together. How hard could it be? I'd done it before. So I sat there, quietly confident, that was until something cut through the babble, and at once I foresaw I was destined to fail. For 3 little words. Let's play Scrabble. I found myself thereupon reading the room, and thought it quite safe to all but assume I dispatch with her mother, grandma, aunt, but there's just one person I'm not sure I can't. Her father dealt the tiles with a masterful ease, and I must admit I was less than best pleased when I looked upon my 7 to see QZRYXWB. After a moment of despair, I pulled myself up in my chair to give a strong, long stare. My new nemesis. Over there. Daddy was an educated man. Studied at Oxford, then Florence. He'd been waffling on about Tolstoy and D.H. Lawrence, so I must admit it seemed a little odd when he kicked off proceedings with iPod. I raised an eyebrow, quite confused, took a deep breath, then looked around before clearing my throat and softly suggesting, perhaps iPod is a proper noun? Her father looked up and said with a grin, "My dear boy, I'm sure you're quite right, but I think you'll find they amended the rules in 2010 in the dead of the night." He then pulled out his phone and tapped a few times, passed it for all to see. There it was, clear as day from 2010, written up on the BBC. There was a sigh of contentment from around the table, as all seemed resigned to defeat. So as per norm, the duty of scorn fell firmly at my feet. I said, "Now, my good man, I would like to contest. Whilst that may be the rules as of then, the wear and tear of this particular board surely precedes 2010. Now, are you to tell me that if we play a game unsure of which rules we should follow, that the rules in the box of the game we are playing are meaningless, futile and hollow?" "Okay," said her father. "If it pleases you so, I'll retract the offending pronoun. For now, may I submit simply pod as my go in this very first round?" I said, "Sadly, my man, that really won't wash, as I'm sure that you very well know. There are penalties for such laughable tosh. I'm afraid that you forfeit your go." Now, I know what you're thinking. It's a little full on for a family event to come on so strong, but before I can stop myself, I'm holding court as if witty retort were a spectator sport. And, Daddy, I'm afraid I must say that in tournament play, when you foul in that way, I regret to inform you're obliged to accept minus 10 points from your score as of yet, which as yours is the very first go, puts you behind all of us. Don't you know? My girlfriend flicked me a glare to the side as her mum caught eyes of her dad. And although well aware of her well-mannered stare, I reached to pick up the score pad, but Nan snatched it first and said with a smile, "Perhaps it should go to a vote." And for a moment I thought about ramming that score pad right down the back of her throat. But instead, I sat there, quietly mumbling, grumbling, waiting to come to my turn. But of course, with my letters available, there weren't a single word to discern. So I took myself off up to the bathroom to douse my face with cold water, for a brief moment thinking, what must they think of the man who came home with their daughter? And then I saw the medicine cabinet, brimming with tablets and potions. There's pills for sleeping, pills for headaches, and pills for swifter bowel motions. So I put 6 in my pocket and took but a moment to think. How many triple word scores will the old man manage with Grandma's laxatives in his drink? Merry Christmas.